career goals which are connected to some humanitarian cause where we want to improve other people's lives, you want to contribute more, you're not thinking so much about financial security, growth, power, influence, then I have seen many a times that people are given the strength for some hidden means. Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance, the most comprehensive channel on the most comprehensive topics and the number of permutations and combinations of different planetary placements to be on this platform, on this particular platform YouTube. So friends, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, and if you are somebody who regularly watches my videos, please subscribe to my channel, because if you find the channel useful, please help YouTube also to propagate this channel further so that others may also be able to use the learning, the knowledge just like you are. Now on the topic for today, how do we make our goals in life? Many times people ask me in my consultation, what is the life purpose? What should we be doing? What our goals are? Where should we be working? I've also done videos on Bhrigu, one we did only yesterday. So when we are looking at life's goals, one of the things which is very important for us is, or how we look at life's goals is, one of them we connect it to our career, through our professional hemisphere, to our livelihood, because that becomes very critical. Having the financial security, having the financial earning is very important. So many times our life's goals, apart from the other domestic goals that we have, usually go on the tangent of career, profession, financial security, and then maybe connected to family, having a family, raising children, enjoying our life, improving the quality of life. However, most of it gets connected back to our career, our profession, our business. How do we earn our livelihood? So usually how do we go about making our life's goals? I remember when I was growing up, talking about the 90s, I was many times advised by my friends that you should get into IT. IT is the thing of the future, and I should learn languages such as C, C++, Oracle, and through that I will be able to make a good name for myself, a good career, earn good money, maybe go abroad and so on. I wasn't so interested in IT. However, I ultimately got into an IT company. I worked for IBM, though not through the IT competency, but through the management competency. And then after that I got into Bank of America, a banking company, though not again through my finance or accounts or banking competency, but my HR related competency. And then I worked with a telecommunications company in India with the Tata Group, the largest company of India as per market capitalization, the company which owns Jaguar Land Rover, for those people who probably don't know of Tata organization, if you are maybe in some country where Tata has not reached so far. So I worked with a telecommunications company, then I worked with a real estate company. None of them I had a competency, technical competency to be in those companies, but more because of my management consulting work that I was able to work with these companies, have a long stint with them. So what I'm trying to say is that sometimes the zodiac may throw you into a certain area. I tried to choose wisely because I didn't want to go into only one area, one industry. So I chose HR, I chose management, because that allowed me to work in the HR of an IT company, of a telecommunications company, of a banking company, of a real estate company, and many other small companies, and to be able to do consulting work with these companies. So I thoroughly enjoyed my career. Now I'm not advising that you all go that path. I'm saying try to find something which is of interest to you, because it's very, very important that unless you have a liking to something, you have a flair for something, natural flair for something, you want to do that, you feel that that is what your strengths are, and you love to do that. Unless you like to do something, you are interested in a certain area, you love to do that, there is no point picking up some career where you want to do and where you want to earn your livelihood, especially if you're not enjoying that. However, many times what we love to do, what our interests are, may not actually be where the zodiac has given us strengths. Then what do? For example, if you want to get into healthcare, become a doctor, or become a surgeon, but your 8th house is not strong, your 12th house is not strong. 8th house is the house of supporting others through healthcare emergencies, healthcare challenges. 12th house is the house of clinics, hospitals. Mercury is the ruler of the 6th sign, Virgo. If your Mercury is not so strong, if your Jupiter is not strong, which is the advisor, the consultant, the guide, which of course the doctor is, and if you don't have the Cancer sign, which is the sign of helping others, supporting others, having an empathy for others. If you don't have strong planetary placements connected to these or any of these 3-4 strengths, then it is difficult to become a doctor or to gain success while becoming a doctor. First of all, becoming a doctor will be a big challenge for you, and then after that, getting the gains, getting the growth, getting the remuneration, getting ahead will be a problem for you, because your planetary placements don't support you either becoming a doctor, or then even if you become a doctor with a lot of effort, going to some country where it's easier to get admission in some colleges, becoming an okay doctor, and then thinking that through my experience you will learn, then it will be a life where you may not enjoy the growth, you may not enjoy fruitful professional success, because the zodiac is not giving you those strengths. So while your interest may be in a certain area, it is important to know whether the zodiac is giving you the planetary strengths of the house, the house lord, the karakatwas, the significators connected to that profession, connected to that goal that you have. So when you're choosing a life goal, a professional goal, then do look at the house that is connected to the area that you want to get good success in, the house lord strength, any doshas, any bad conjunctions, and the karakatva, the significators all being in good situation. There not being many malefics which are involved in or spoiling that particular area through their conjunction doshas or aspects. Say for example, if you want to get success in the real estate industry, or you want to get into the building industry, or you want to get in some way connected to the real estate industry through either becoming an architect or becoming an interior designer or getting related to home appliances, anything related to the home. If your Venus is not strong, if your moon is not strong, your 4th house is not strong, or if your Mercury is not strong, if you want to become an architect, then it will not be easy for you to firstly gain the proper qualification to be adapted, to have the competency to get into the real estate industry as an architect, as a civil engineer, or the project head, and then making success out of that. And then also making assets yourself, because your Venus is weak, your moon is weak, your 4th house is weak. So once again, check the strength of the house, the house lords, the significators of the karakatwas, and that there should not be any malefics which are spoiling the case of that area that you want to make your life goal in, where you want to get a professional success. Now if you like to do something, you want to go into a certain area, but the zodiac is not giving you the placements to be able to get success there, then check in your horoscope where is the zodiac giving you strength. Usually the zodiac gives you strength in those areas where your karma is, where the zodiac wants you to act, where the zodiac wants you to contribute, where you may even be having a karmic baggage, where there may also be placements where you have to give back to the society. For example, if your 12th house is strong, your 12th lord is placed well, say in the 10th house, your Jupiter is very strong, Jupiter has Pisces energy, is connected to the 12th house. If your sun is strong and making some connections with either the 12th house, the 12th lord, or say placed in the 10th house with the 12th lord, then this is all pointing towards or giving you the strengths to, for example, getting into foreign service. You may sit for a competitive exam, and then through the competitive exams you may be able to get into foreign service, which means working for the government and connected to the external affairs ministry or the foreign affairs ministry, as may be called in different countries. So you get the qualification in that, you get competence, you get experience working for the government in the external affairs ministry, foreign affairs ministry, first working out of your own country, then maybe getting a placement in a foreign country, maybe in the UN, or working in the consulate, working in the embassy. Who knows? If your sun is strong, you may even grow up to becoming the ambassador of a country, and then you may become an ambassador in many countries if your 9th house is strong, because the 12th house is anyway strong. Getting placed in different countries, enjoying the network, making friends, visiting many countries, and being able to enjoy the fruits of different countries while working for the government. Very, very prestigious job, working for the Foreign Affairs Ministry, working for the External Affairs Ministry, and yet enjoying different countries on government salary, and yet being able to serve your motherland, your nation. Now, once again, I am not telling you just because your 12th house is strong, 12th lord is strong, Jupiter is strong, sun is strong, getting into foreign service or doing that. For that, your 6th house also has to be strong, 6th lord has to be strong. If at all the route in your country to foreign service is through a competitive exam. So if you are young, you are trying to make a career decision, thinking where you need to work, what you want to make your goal in, not only about career. Say for example, you want to make a decision in investments, or you want to make a decision in choosing up some social cause. Say for example, you want to work for a social cause such as for the orphanages, the young children, or in the education, or for the climate. Whatever decisions you want to make, whatever goals you want to make, it has to be done on the basis of the strengths that you are being given. Secondly, if you are caught up or stuck up in some career or work which you think is not rewarding enough, and you are in that time or that phase that if you don't make the change now, you may never be able to make the change, and you're thinking about where you should make the change, then it is high time that now at least look into your horoscope, look into the strengths that the zodiac has given you, what natural strengths come to you, and then try and see if they can connect with some interest that you have, some cause that is close to you, dear to your heart, and try and work in that line. And once you have understood the planetary strengths, understood the house strengths, understood the karakattvas or the significator strength, then look at whether the dasha period is conducive to making that decision, because some dasha periods will be better to take some decisions. Some dasha periods it is better to make decisions during the right period. Now dasha may be 6 years, 7 years, maybe 17 years, 19 years, 20 years also. Now the entire dasha period is not important for you to wait for a decision. If Venus is bad, you don't need to wait for entire 20 years before the Venus dasha ends and you get into a better dasha. There's some antar dashas within Venus may give you an opportunity of making that decision, especially the antar dasha planet, if they are strong and they are pointing towards a certain area of life, then you still may make the decision, you may still be able to move towards that goal that you feel will be conducive and will also be fruitful for you, and you may enjoy better growth. Maybe you may need to put in some extra effort because the Mahadasha Lord is not supporting you enough. But if the Antardasha Lord is very, very strong, the transits are very strong, you can still make a decision, better late than never. But if you already chosen a career, you are already in a career. For example, if you are a doctor and Ketu is placed in the 2nd house, then during that phase, maybe you may not be getting high earnings. In fact, even if you get high earnings or stable earnings, your expenses may be so high that you may be wiping out your bank balance and your savings. So you can't do much during that dasha because the dasha is not supporting high livelihood. So the dasha periods, antar dasha periods, also you need to look at whether they are supporting a certain direction that you have. For example, if you are looking at improving your financial condition and the dasha and antar dasha periods are not supporting, say for example, the financial situation, but it may give you more power, more influence, more high growth, more learning, more experiences. That may be useful for you in the later antar dasha period, maybe after 2 years or 3 years. So you need to keep in mind what is the current dasha, antar dasha supporting, and what the next dasha may be giving you, the antar dasha may be giving you. Accordingly, you need to plan. You need to plan 3-4 years before that result will be upon you, before that thing you want to make success. Now, secondly, you can't keep changing your career just because the dasha changes, right? But what you can do is you can be better prepared because you know which dasha is coming, which antar dasha is coming, so you can plan accordingly. So if you are in business and if you feel that putting more money in the business during a certain time is highly risky, then during those 1, 2, 3 years during the antar dasha period, you may slow it down in terms of making investments or making risky investments or taking risky financial decisions. Sometimes some Antardasha periods may be better for learning, maybe improving your competency. So maybe you add some competency, maybe you add some qualification, because of which it may open the doors. For example, if you do an MBA, it opens the doors also to investments in your business if you have a great investment plan. If you don't even have an MBA, why would somebody give you the money? Because you're not qualified enough, unless you have already proven yourself in some other business and you're a trailblazer. Then a financial investment may still come to you. But how many times are we very successful in industry and then we want to completely look into something else? We may not want to take the risk. So it's always better to also have the competence and learn about the industry, especially if you're trying to move towards something where you're trying to make your life goal, where you're trying to make the purpose going ahead. Then also look into the transits. For example, some transits can be really most challenging than others. For example, during a Sadesati, that can be a tough period for many of us. Some of us it may not be. But if Saturn is transiting over your moon during a Sadesati period over the 10th house, then you need to be careful whether you want to make a career decision during that time. If Saturn is going over the 2nd house, then you need to be careful whether you are taking a decision based on remuneration or livelihood or increasing your livelihood, because that may eat into your savings without giving you higher livelihood. If Saturn is going over your 9th house and you are trying to get into an industry connected to education or get an education to get ahead, then you need to rethink whether that competence will surely give you the way ahead, will surely add to your life goals, your professional goals. Or you should wait for the period, or you go ahead and get the competency, but you wait till the Sadesati period is out, so that then you may start getting the fruits of your labor, that effort, that qualification you have got. So you need to plan 3-4 years ahead, maybe 4-5 years ahead, when you are making life goals, when you are making professional goals or any goals, even say family goals. If you want to get married, you want to settle down and you want to raise a family, then you need to plan 3-4 years, 5 years ahead. Who the person is going to be, whether the person is good enough for you, maybe through horoscope matching, and what are your financial plans, what are your plans as a family, how many children you want to have, whether the Dasha Antardasha period going ahead of you and your spouse is supporting having a family, having children, raising children, having more than one child, for example. All these things need to be accounted. And not even just Sadesati, even Saturn's transit over a certain house may not give you the fruits of labor during that particular transit. Saturn transiting over your 10th house may give you a stagnation in your career, may not give you a growth in your career. Now if you're fighting with your superior saying, no, I want that growth, I want the promotion, I will quit if you don't give me the promotion, you may even lose your job, but you may not get the promotion. So understanding the Dasha Antardasha period strengths, whether your Saturn is very strong or not. If your Saturn is very strong, say for example exalted in the 10th house, then you may still get away making that threat because management may give in, who knows. Or if you quit that job, maybe you may get another one, or at least you will wait till you have another job before quitting and you may get a better job, who knows. But you need to look at the planetary strength when you're taking a decision, especially longer duration transits such as Saturn's 2.5 years, Rahu and Ketu 18 months, and Jupiter's 1 year period. Then also look at whether the Dasha period or the Antardasha period is in a bad dosha. For example, if you are in the Ketu period and Ketu is between two other malefics, first of all you are in the Ketu period, Ketu is in a Pap Katri dosha where two malefics are on either side of Ketu, then it is very risky to take such decisions, especially connected to the house that Ketu is placed in and what are the other yogas or doshas or conjunctions getting connected to Ketu or through aspects. For example, if you are in a Ketu Dasha and Ketu is in a Pap Katri dosha, Ketu is in the 5th house, then you may be forced to make a job change, or you may lose your job during that Dasha, so it is better to be more stable during that time, or you may lose your investments during that time. Or if you are trying to get into a new field, into financial investments or financial accounting, wanting to change the job, the change of job may still happen, but the change of job may not be conducive to growth and profit. So be very careful when you're making your career goals, when you're making change oriented goals, looking at furthering your career. If at all the transit, the Dasha, the Antardasha periods and the significators are strong enough to be able to make the move, to be able to make the change. So friends, look at the overall strength of the house lords, the significators, the karakatwas, the dasha antardasha period, and also the transits, and also look at the ashtak varga points of the dasha and antardasha lords, especially when you're making that decision, because sometimes the ashtak varga points, if they are low, they may not support your decision completely. Especially if they are important career decisions or livelihood oriented decisions, financial situation decisions, health related decisions, maybe you want to do something new, or relationship oriented decisions. And lastly, if you are still in doubt, it is always better to take the advice or consult those of experts belonging to that field, knowing well ahead what the way forward is. If you're getting a competency in a certain field, if you're making new life goals in a new industry which you're not well aware of, so then get in touch with people who are experts in that field, who have experience in that field, before you make important career decisions. Not just because of looking at the zodiac strength, the planetary strength, because the desh kal patra, the country that you are in, the place that you are in, geographical location that you are in, the current economical situation, social situations, political situation, all will affect, in spite of your zodiac strength, whether you will be able to get strength in the area that you want to move in, change in, or make career goals in. And lastly, when you make career goals which are connected to some humanitarian cause, where we want to improve other people's lives, you want to contribute more, you are not thinking so much about financial security, growth, power, influence, then I have seen many a times that people are given the strength for some hidden means. So zodiac helps you in those means when you're not looking so much at other things. It is like a Mother Teresa saying, I'm going to help people, I'm going to establish the missionaries of charities, comes alone to a country like India, a different country goes to Kolkata and makes a big organization like missionaries of charities, ends up becoming canonized even as a saint. So when you make your career goals, also look at not purely materialistic causes, but also some social causes rather than just self-serving causes, because then you may also get the support of the zodiac. Your planetary strengths may be getting added strength, even the helping hand of a hidden strength that is being given to you out of nowhere. So friends, be very careful when you're making your career plans, when you're making change of career plans, when you're making life goals, because when you're making goals, they should always be long-term rather than short-term goals. And if you're properly planned, you're looking at the strengths of the zodiac, what your likes and dislikes are, what your periods are, what are the transit periods, and the desh kal patra, then you have a greater chance of success, especially if you're also connecting it to some zodiac cause, some humanitarian cause, some serving cause to the larger masses. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation for me, please reach out to me at the links given below. Till some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.